Welcome to Manchester United News Update. Subscribe for more Manchester United news, match previews, and transfer updates. Man United news: Ruben Amorim rejects move as Pep Guardiola issues stern warning. Manchester United finally know the man who will replace Erik ten Hag, having struck a deal for Sporting Lisbon's Ruben Amorim ahead of this weekend's clash with Chelsea. It has been yet another dramatic week at Manchester United. It started with the Red Devils sacking Erik ten Hag after defeat to West Ham, replacing him with Ruud van Nistelrooy. The Dutchman has already overseen one win in interim charge after United saw off Leicester 5-2 in the Carabao Cup. Van Nistelrooy will be aiming to continue that perfect start in the Red Devils' latest Premier League assignment against Chelsea. But in the background, club chiefs have also been working hard attempting to find ten Hag's successor. They finally struck a deal to tempt Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon, but he will not take control until later this month. Take a look at all of the latest news from Old Trafford below. Amorim rejected lucrative deal. Ruben Amorim has revealed he turned down a move that would have seen earn 3 times more than at Old Trafford. Amorim said, let's not go around the bush. There was a club that said that if I rejected it now in 6 months I wouldn't get it, and I knew that in 6 months I will leave Sporting, so I did not want to regret not making this decision. I know it was a disappointment to the Sporting fans and not take the risk or wait for the end of the season, and then I wouldn't have the only club I wanted to coach. The president knows about this because I had other offers and I didn't want them before, but this one I did want, so I made my decision. But now I go home more happier because I have explained. People say, it's about the money, but there was another team that wanted to hire me before and they paid 3 times more than Manchester. Guardiola issues warning. Pep Guardiola has warned Amorim that his Premier League arrival will make the Man City boss even better. Unai Emery is here, Andoni Iraola is here, many top managers, he said on Friday ahead of City's Premier League game against Bournemouth. Every manager has new ideas. Of course it will improve myself. There are now more rivals. How many times I faced Jurgen Klopp, or now Mikel Arteta, in the last few years? Ruben Amorim, new Man United head coach, wants to bring £70 million Ousmane Diomande with him to Old Trafford, paper talk. Callum Wilson set to become target for 4 Premier League clubs in January. Andy Robertson faces fight to keep his place in Arne Slot's Liverpool side. Ex-Liverpool sporting director Jurg Schmadtke believes it's entirely possible Mohamed Salah will move to Saudi Arabia next summer. Ruben Amorim wants to bring £70 million Ousmane Diomande with him to Manchester United in a transfer for one of Europe's most wanted stars. Frustrated Man United stars held their own private summits into the club's disastrous start to this season. Liverpool boss Arne Slot's new home is nearer his 2 Manchester arch-rivals. Callum Wilson is set to become a target for 4 Premier League clubs in January. An international consortium, fronted by 2 Crystal Palace supporters, and the billionaire food delivery entrepreneur Stanley Tang, are the 2 frontrunners in contention to buy John Textor's 46% stake in the South London club for more than £200 million. Daily Star. Neymar Jr. has recently dropped a massive clue that he might be keen to reunite with his ex-teammate Lionel Messi. Daily Mirror. Former Liverpool sporting director Jurg Schmadtke believes it's entirely possible Mohamed Salah will move to Saudi Arabia next summer. Erik ten Hag has released a statement and spoken for the first time since being sacked by Manchester United. Andy Robertson is facing a fight to keep his place in Arne Slot's Liverpool side. Daily Mail. Former Manchester United defender Jaap Stam remains skeptical of fortunes at Manchester United changing solely because of a managerial alteration. Daily Express. Former Valencia youth player José Castillejo has tragically been killed after the Spanish city was hit by devastating flash floods this week. Daily Record. Graham Shinnie has admitted the Midas touch of Jimmy Thellin has even got him daring to dream of finally lifting a trophy as Aberdeen captain. Under fire. Philippe Clement insists he hasn't sought out the Rangers board for assurances on his Ibrox future. The Sun. Damien Duff has clinched his first league title as a manager after leading Irish side Shelbourne to glory. Ruben Amorim could offer Man United green light to snap up £51 million Jared Branthwaite alternative. Manchester United's new head coach Ruben Amorim could give the green light to sign a £51 million alternative to Everton's Jared Branthwaite next summer. Ruben Amorim could give Manchester United the green light to sign Sporting Lisbon defender Goncalo Inacio next summer as an alternative to former target Jared Branthwaite. The Reds appointed Amorim as their new head coach on a deal until 2027 following the sacking of Erik ten Hag. While his first task will be to get more out of the existing first-team squad, he will also be thinking about future additions. One of those could be highly rated Sporting centre-back Inacio. United welcomed two new centre-back additions in the summer, with Lenny Yoro and Matthijs de Ligt strengthening the defensive options. The club wanted to sign a third but gave up pursuing Everton's Branthwaite due to the Toffees' rumoured £70 million valuation. While it's been suggested they could go back in for the Englishman next summer, Amorim's arrival has changed things. Not only do United have to think about recruiting stars to fit a proposed 3-4-3 system, but Amorim will also favour a player with whom he has an existing relationship. Inacio was a target for Liverpool earlier this year, but Manchester is his most likely destination now given the circumstances. It was reported in the summer that Inacio only has a release clause of €60 million, £51 million, making him a cheaper alternative to Branthwaite. Whatever happens though, Amorim has already confirmed that he won't raid Sporting of their players in January. His appointment as head coach at Old Trafford rather than manager also signals that Sporting director Dan Ashworth and technical director Jason Wilcox could have more power than Amorim in terms of recruitment. Ten Hag seemed to have a greater influence on new signings with de Ligt and Noussair Mazraoui, two players he has worked with before. Amorim will have sought some assurances before taking the job, though, and it's likely he will still have some input. "I called meeting at Chelsea when Man United showed interest. I really wanted to go." Juan Mata became a Chelsea hero during his short stint in West London but could not resist joining their Premier League rivals Manchester United once they came knocking. Juan Mata admitted how he called a meeting urging Chelsea to let him leave for Manchester United, saying, "I really wanted to go." The Spaniard joined Chelsea in the summer of 2011 and quickly became one of the best playmakers in the world, helping the Blues to their first ever Champions League trophy in his first season. But despite being voted the club's Player of the Year in his first two campaigns, he fell out of favour in his third season, under new manager Jose Mourinho. Mata, who now plays for Western Sydney Wanderers in the A-League, struggled to nail down a regular place in the starting lineup under the Portuguese. The silky midfielder was willing to fight for his place initially, but United's offer in the 2014 January transfer window was something he simply could not turn down. Convinced by United's stature, he pleaded with Chelsea bosses that the deal was perfect for all parties involved. He arrived in Manchester in late January for a then-club record fee of £37.1 million, remaining with the club until 2022. The summer before, there was some interest from United, the 36-year-old explained in an episode of the United podcast in 2020. "No, I wouldn't leave then. I wanted to see what the challenge was and there was never really anything else other than interest. There was not an offer, so I didn't have the real opportunity." As the season went on and the transfer market arrived in January, then there was an offer. "I had some other offers also, but I wasn't going to leave either. I'm not one who wants to leave when the situation is tough. When Manchester United called and they said, 'We're going to go for you and make an offer to Chelsea, we want you to come,' I spoke with them. I really wanted to go and really wanted to feel what it is to be a Manchester United player. I had suffered playing against United with Chelsea and they are definitely one of the biggest clubs in the world. At that moment, they were struggling with the first season of David Moyes and were not doing great in the league, but that doesn't matter. I wanted to come to be a player for this club. I spoke to Chelsea and said, 'Listen, there is this offer. It's also good money and you can sign another player.